it's okay. We got it all clean just in time. I even got my hair dry, actually. It's quite good. And then Lynn arrived, and the pavlovas come out of the oven, and we're all set to go.
Wonderful.
This is the wonderful Lynn Hall, and you're going to show us how you make a pavlova. Or pavlova roulade, isn't it?
Pavlova roulade, yes. It's based on a recipe from meringues, which my mother was absolutely magic at. But a pavlova is easier because you've got the corn flour and you've got that bit of vinegar, which makes it this lovely marshmallow texture. So after baking and cooling, we're going to use the paper to roll it up.
What's in this bowl? I mean, obviously it's cream.
It's whipped cream, just flavoured with a little bit of brandy and a little bit of icing sugar. And it's also very good with mince pies and in profiteroles. That brandy just helps to lift it up a little bit.
I can see it probably does. That sounds good to me.
Right. Otherwise, it's all a bit bland. So what we'll do next is just line the pavlova with the whipped cream.
So is this actually something that your mum would have made?
She was better with meringues. She would make them at night when it was cool, because I come from a little place called Durban, which is about 100% humidity, about three quarters.
South Africa, isn't
South
it?
Africa.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that I know just from whipping cream, we've had a bit of this today, it's a hot day.
Oh, yes.
It's very difficult to keep it from going over into that sort of curdled frosting. How do you manage in South Africa?
Well, what we did is we actually put all the bowls that you were going to use and the whisk in the fridge, so everything was really, really cold to start with. We didn't have the most wonderful cream that we have here in England. I think the English cream is the very, very best in the world. But by chilling everything right down and then being really quick. For example, my mother always used to cook at night. And I always wondered why, because we were deprived the pleasure of seeing her. But I think it was because it was the cool of the night that she was able to cook. And she made meringues, which, as you know, sugar is very hygroscopic and absorbs the moisture. And so she would wait till the evening. And we would hear the whisk going. And my sister and I would wake up in bed and say, oh, I wonder if it's going to be meringues. And then if we went pip, pop, pop, then it was popcorn, and that we couldn't wait. Out of bed, into the kitchen at 10 o'clock at night, eating popcorn.
Do you need these strawberries?
Yes, let's put the strawberries in there. Yes, just put them, strew them across. That would be lovely.
And I've got more to strew here.
And also some blueberries, which I've chosen quite carefully because I don't think every Northern Hemisphere fruit goes with tropical fruit. But I think these two are just completely gorgeous.
Excellent. Yes, because of course you've got this wonderful basket of fruit here, and actually this is lovely.
Yes, it's mother's silver basket. My sister, because she was the younger sister, inherited all the rocks and the jewels, and I got the silverware because they thought I was more cultured. That's how families are.
Would you rather have had the jewels?
No. I love my tableware. I have a huge cupboard full of lovely things. Now, when rolling a roulade, forgive my cookery teacher attitude here, the most important thing is the first little squashing here. And it feels a bit brutal, but don't worry. It'll be fine. And then you just pick that up. Now, notice I've got this propped up against a board. That stops it from rolling away. And then you just press and roll, so you don't get all the fruit coming out. And then what I do is a lovely massage, and then just slip it onto the tray, upturned tray. You just put things there. You see how easy it is?
She doesn't need me around at all.
And there it is.
I'm on sauce duty, and I'm doing the sauce. Am I doing the right thing? I've got some strawberries.
Yes, what we're doing here is making a sauce to go with the roulade. And because, again, of the cream and the egg whites, we want something that's got quite a bit of flavour. And so we've got strawberries again, but the most important thing is the passion fruit.
Lots of people think that's a ripe passion fruit.
Oh, no. The more wizened and wrinkled it gets, the sweeter it is. And you should never put these in the fridge. Always store them out of the fridge on a sunny windowsill if you can, and let them ripen.
And that smell, the smell is just beautiful.
Wonderful.
And
a little goes a long way, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, these are called granadilla, and we actually call these granadilla, but technically this is a granadilla and comes from South America, and these are genuine South African.
And it's a bit like opening an egg. I mean, I know egg, actually you'd be a bit worried if your egg looked like that inside, wouldn't you? But that is just lovely. And there's all the seeds. So I just put them straight in with the strawberries.
Straight in, yes, that's lovely.
And they have that lovely, sort of slightly acidic sweet taste. And
yes, sweet sour, yes. The other thing that always makes me laugh are pawpaws. We call them pawpaws, you call them papaya, I believe. Because we used to grow them in the garden. And they grow up on a very tall, long stem. And you've got these umbrella-type leaves coming out of them with the big indentations, a bit like those. And then the pawpaws hang from those, like these great breasts right around there. But the most wonderful thing about a South African pawpaw is that they have sexual habits. You have male and female. And Mum and Dad always used to row because Mother was the great pruner. Yes, if you'd like to cut that, Sophie, it'd be lovely. And she'd prune, and Father was the non-pruner. You've always got those two in the family, haven't you, in the garden? But Father used to enjoy chopping down the pawpaw trees. And if you have male and female pawpaw trees and you cut down the wrong sex, then you don't get any pawpaws. I'll never forget the problems we had at home. My father was always cutting down the wrong pawpaw tree, and there were the most violent rows about why we didn't have pawpaws for breakfast. Do you need to...
Oh, so we're just taking off the seeds here.
Just taking off
I
the
love
seeds.
the seeds in a pawpaw. Aren't they beautiful? That's a
Yeah,
lovely
they're all
dark
shiny,
grey,
lovely,
shiny colour.
Poisonous.
Now, these are going to go into the sauce. Just tell me what I'm meant to be doing with them.
We need to take the skin off and cut them into little chunks about the same size as the strawberries.
Okie dokie. Well, while I'm doing that, do you want to get on with finishing off the roulade?
The roulade. Oh, yes, I love that bit. We're going to put some rosettes on the top.
Rosettes?
Rosettes, cream rosettes. And we must get the cream ready first.
Yep. What do you need to do that?
Just whisk it up to the right stage of peak. Now, it's a good idea to start in a whisk or have a handheld whisk, but it's really important that you finish off by hand, because only then do you get the absolute right consistency. Again, the flavour of the cream in this country is so fabulous.
It looks so nice, doesn't it?
Do you like it? Do you like it?
I'm
so pleased. I'm so pleased. Now we can cut off the ends just to make it look a little bit more soigné. And those are jolly good for tasting.
Oh, funny you should say that, Lynn. Funny, isn't that lucky? Jolly good for tasting. That's my kind of
And your
phrase.
blade should be nice and clean, which that means that you get a nice result. You see how the caster sugar's given us that lovely sparkly top to it? So back to the cream. A nozzle, this one's been in the dishwasher, not a good idea, into the bottom of a pastry bag. And don't let this put you off. I know that people don't, the moment they see pastry bag, they turn the corner of the page or the corner of the street and don't. But it's really, really easy. You make a cuff so you don't get it all over your hands, like so. And then you take a spatula and you just put it in and just make sure.
Lynn, tell me about how you first got into cooking. I mean, was your mother an influence? Were those nights lying in bed listening to her whisking downstairs, that somehow lead you towards pastry?
Well, yes, I suppose it did, because she was very, very good at cake decorating. I remember one beautiful one with the merry-go-round and all the little figures, the little horses were done in gingerbread. But anyway, the cream is demanding we do something with it, so it's really easy. The most important thing when doing rosettes is to stand properly, with your weight firmly between your legs, which are slightly apart, and then you see you can use your hips to swing and get a perfect rosette.
I never knew that.
Well, there we are.
You do this in exercise class.
You can indeed.
Exercise class.
You always start with one in the centre, and then one at the end, and then again here. And then you just fill it up, and that makes sure that you have the right number.
Can I just interrupt you for a minute? Am I doing the right thing here? I've chopped all those fruits. So
They're gorgeous, aren't they beautiful? They're like jewels, beautiful colours.
Lovely
Just
colours.
a little sugar syrup to moisten it.
And this is the sugar syrup.
It is, and it's a very light sugar syrup. We've only got half the sugar to water.
So just
to make it moist, just to make a chopped fruit salad into a sauce. Just a little more, please, Sophie.
A little more? Okay.
Just a little more, and that's really lovely.
Right?
That's gorgeous. And you can see the colour of the sugar syrup. We flavoured with a bit of cinnamon and ginger and vanilla, and that just makes it slightly nice. So we'll get on with that. We'll just put those at an angle.
Oh, isn't this pretty?
And try and get a straight line. Very important in the pastry.
Now, I'm really, really glad that you've finished, because it's the moments that I've been looking forward to all day. Can I have a slice?
Can I just finish decorating it?
Oh.
This is the bit I really love. I feel so cheated if I can't do my little decoration of my plates, because these are vine leaves. Now, the other part of my childhood was spent in the Cape, which is completely different from the hot, sultry, monsoon-like temperatures urban, and we'd drive down to the Cape to see my grandmother, and because the Cape is a completely different climate. It's got a Mediterranean climate, very dry summers, and of course wonderful vines and grapes and beautiful plums and other fruits that we would never get in the tropics. So I always love grape leaves and their shape. And then these are from the local highways and byways of where I live in London.
Really? These are London vines?
Oh yes, I go out with a pair of scissors at night and a rather large shopping bag and snip discreetly.
From whose vines, may I ask?
They are coming out onto the pavement, I promise. But it's a very strong residents' association, so I make sure I do it at dark, just so I don't get any confrontations. And then just a little tumble of fruits, arranged but not arranged, is the modern style of pastry.
Absolutely.
And then we're nearly there. And then we can taste. If you feel that the cream has gone too much, or you haven't got things in a straight line, then you simply reach for the icing sugar, dash it across the top. Maybe a few little dusky blueberries, just scattered among.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
And there it is.
So we can taste now?
You can.
Thank heavens. I was waiting for that. It's all mine. Well, not all mine, actually. I couldn't eat quite right, but it's all mine. And aren't you envious? Because this is our treat now. And then I think maybe I'll invite a few friends round for supper as well, if that's all right.
Oh, I'd be honoured. Deeply honoured, Sophie.
Thank you so much, Lynn. Do you know, it makes me feel a bit despairing, because I'm not sure that I could ever get it looking as perfect as that.
You could. I'm sure you could.